And we are live and on location. Alright, so would anybody like to give us a little recap of last session?
Else wants to take for once. Okay. So, last session was primarily social hours. We had Paul's birthday, so we had bowling. We played a bunch of bowling. Kaime went to talk to the cops about investigating something, so they're doing some socializing. There was a failed arson attempt. Various other events, and then the last thing that happened before the session ended is May got a potential lead on the arsonist.
Yes. Which I believe you mentioned in a text chat?
Yeah,
correctly.
I messaged the two of them to say, hey, let's meet up, because I got a lead, and I think I'm planning to do that during social hours today.
Okay. Well, that is indeed a recap. So let's get everybody to roll those inspiration d20s in. Okay, we got a 19 from Ryuzo, which will take the cake as long as Ryuzo doesn't already have a banked inspiration.
Don't believe I do.
Well, then, now you do. Congratulations.
Use it to catch another legendary fish.
Absolutely.
I mean, is there really any better use for it?
Honestly, if it works, not really. It's a free social point for everybody. With everybody.
Chab, if you're fiddling with the little knob or whatever, don't do that.
And then I have to stay unmuted.
What?
Then I have to stay unmuted.
Yeah, you'll probably have to physical mute. Or not physical, but digital mute.
Discord mute, yeah.
What? I was unmuting, I couldn't stop it.
Yep.
Is that where I wasn't talking?
Alright. Well, let's do... Because it's rainy in real life at the moment in my neck of the woods.
Hey, here too.
Alright.
Getting rid of all the snow that we've had accumulated.
So, I will transition us to the morning of Sunday the 12th, which is free time.
I forgot to move back here before.
I've got no idea where the heck May's gonna meet up with the two of them. There's no real plan.
Just need to check something.
Right.
What's Hada up to?
I had no plans.
Oh, meeting at the cafe so I can tell you about the lead I got. I'm gonna go with.
Yeah, that works.
'Cause I don't think May would choose anything that would avoid the rest of the group to fill you in on this.
So we're all going to the cafe?
Well, I don't know. I only contacted you two, so I don't even know if the cafe owners are even going to be in.
That's fair.
It's more of I messaged you two and I don't know a place to meet with people other than the cafe.
Well, you have options, especially where you're meeting with two police officers about police officer things. Like, there is the station. We can go back there. Basically, the choice is yours, though.
We can always use the station or either of our houses.
You may want to
works.
use the station.
Well, you're the one
Sure. Fine.
making the request.
Sure, I'll meet
and-
you at the station. It's more useful.
Okay.
Hey,
Right now you're
lost some
drowning.
sales today.
Akio cries as he
Damn.
watches the police walk away.
No, we
I mean,
stopped by in the morning and we bought some for the office.
There you
I was
go.
about to say, all Akio has to do is tell us when I can bring some coffee into the office. So,
And tea.
Paul's tea.
and tea.
What's Paul doing?
He's he is staying at the cafe.
Okay.
Just Colin.
All right.
Working.
So Paul and Akio just working.
Yep.
Alrighty. We break 30,000 yen. We're up to 300 bucks.
We're fucking rich.
Alright. Let's go to police station. And
See how long it takes to send me there.
that shouldn't take too long.
Ooh, this map's fucked. I would fix it though. Fix
Alright.
it.
You can
Okay.
position yourselves as you please.
We can, for the sake of speed, say we skip what we did last time. The high, come in, grab drinks. We end up over here.
Yeah, I mean, May probably has like a bit of like awkwardness going on in the police station, but she hasn't committed murder or anything, so fine.
Yeah, exactly.
And we are notably not taking you into the interrogation room. This is the room that looks into the interrogation room.
No, but yes. And if you had really high insight, you might notice the moment of concern, but like she's never committed murder, so yeah.
Yeah, I was just say you could make us roll for it. I don't think it matters too much though.
My passive is let's see, what is it? 12, and that doesn't seem right.
I mean,
You can know you're passive.
your passive is your modifier.
No.
It's 10 plus modifier.
Your passive perception is it's the number in brackets next to your modifier.
Okay.
Oh,
so
okay.
12, yeah.
Well, for me.
You can. You catch it, but like there's nothing to it because she shrugs it off and
Oh, yeah.
continues.
It's a notice, but it's absolutely nothing worth mentioning.
Yeah,
Damn.
but hey, you can have one bit of information for social scenes in future.
Ryuzo has a passive 20 persuasion.
I sure do.
Yes, I have. What's it called? It doesn't. I have passive 19 insight.
I also have a passive 17 deception and intimidation and a passive 16 sleight of hand. 16 for investigation.
You actually bumped your charisma up. I haven't bumped Dex or Wisdom past 16. Considering how this stuff is this game. Anyways, sorry, in character. So, I went to the general store and I noticed something that might be relevant to the arson you're looking into. The shopkeeper had said there was a kid that had come in, tried to buy fire extinguishers, and then freaked out like crazy to the point that they were banned. That there's like a picture of them being banned from the store. According to the owner, the police like picked them up, but couldn't get a name from the owner, and so I pull out my phone with a picture of the poster. I was wondering if you could figure out who this was, because it seemed from the description I got to be like a rational fear level of behavior.
Yeah, that definitely doesn't seem like a normal reaction.
To back up for a second, did you say the store owner wouldn't give more information?
No, the store owner couldn't give more information. They didn't know the
Okay.
name.
I misheard you.
They were nice. They were helpful. Like you know, I'll see if you know it's the same store owner that for the convenience store.
I mean, I was asking out of character anyways. I just literally couldn't hear what you said.
Yeah,
These
as a
These-
quick summary, just above board. The owner of the store didn't place any charges, and instead just had the police come remove the individual from the premises and said that's good enough as long as they're gone.
Got it.
So the owners of the store didn't get any information on the kid, but the police would.
I was more saying the scowly like kid who basically runs the place may calls nice. Anyways, where was I? Yeah, so I was wondering if you could ask around or like check your recent notes if you could try and get the name.
That's definitely a lead that we'll have to chase down and see where it goes.
Yeah, we should be able to pull up the incident report.
Yeah, I'm thinking something like that because, you know. Yeah, she sends you like a copy of the picture so you can like reference it as well.
And I'm like jotting down a bunch of this info as we're speaking.
You do recall hearing the call to the general store about somebody causing a disturbance. So you do remember that did happen. And then it was dealt with by another officer. And you also know that there would be a record of it.
I mean, yeah, it's something that, like, not speaking in character, it is something that we would look into. But, like, unless May has more to say or ask, we're not gonna, like, go look now and then come back and be like, yeah, this is what happened.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not planning to look into it now, I can tag on along if you're looking into it now, or I can just head off.
I mean, it'd be looking into it pretty immediately, but like if you have no more to say, that'd be about the end of it for
Yeah,
you.
I have nothing else to say here. I come in and I tell you about the thing. I don't exactly have anything else to chat about.
Yeah, you get the, thank you for taking the time to come in and make this report, give us this information. We'll look into it. And then, we ask if there's anything else. You say no.
Well, let me know if you find anything useful.
Absolutely.
I'll leave then.
Will do.
And then I leave.
Like, the general idea is, like, you're not going to hear what happened directly from me and Hada back unless it is a metaverse related. So if it just ends up being regular crime stuff, you probably, maybe Hada will tell you, but Ryu's probably not going to give you very specific details.
Well, May leaves. And goes do something or other. I'm not sure what else.
I'm going to say, as soon as May leaves, unless God is not going to let us, we go to, like, pull those records and look into it now.
Yeah, so you go back to your desk, boot up the PC, search up recent incident reports, and you find the one that was mentioned. It was a disturbance from a Kai Tsubasa, high school kid with no previous record. Showed signs of almost fear-induced delirium, but eventually calmed down and was released. And was put into the system as like a warning of, if this person is found trespassing on the general store property, There is no questions asked. They are removed from the premises. If they show up at the general store later on.
Well, let's plug Kaisubasa and Fire into the Metaverse app and see if we get any kind of more information required.
I was gonna say the exact same thing. Yeah.
We do the thing.
Like right now, we do that.
So you put in his name and Fire, which would be the
Fire
fear.
or arson.
So if you're going for full palace, it's name, fear, and what they would use to defend against it.
Well, I mean, we can try Fire Extinguisher for defend against it right off the bat. I mean, that's what he was trying to get, so.
And you get no results.
Well, probably for the better in the end. Means we just need to work it like a regular case.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, we can definitely keep checking various things from time to time, but for now, yeah.
Yeah. If you think of any other keyword hits as we're looking into this more that we can try out, see if something produces a result, then we'll try them as they come, but otherwise, business as usual.
Just for thorough sake, I will try water as the defend against as well.
No candidates found.
Okay, I didn't expect to, but
Anything else you wanted to try before we jump scene?
Depends how specific you need it to be, because you could just broaden it to fire retardant in general. Any of
yeah,
them.
let's broaden it. Fire retardant.
No candidates found.
Yeah, past that, I don't know. Without looking into it and getting more information, which we would need to do by just working the case as normal. I can't think of what else to try right now.
Let's see here. Let's also try
Do
salt
you
and
like
baking
message,
soda.
do you like message May or no? Because you don't.
At this point, I wouldn't, because I barely speaks to you, and there's no indication at the moment that it is tied to the metaverse. It's just a case, and we don't just divulge case details to random people.
I would go ahead and shoot off a message to May, but it's basically going to be a, hey, we haven't found anything linking it to the metaverse yet. We're still looking into it, but if we find anything, we'll let you know.
Okay. Yeah, in that case, May doesn't like pop in the back door saying she just has left.
Hada, what were you looking at trying there?
Stuff that probably won't work. One of them was salt, and the other one was baking soda.
Yeah, I can't think of a word for just depriving a fire of air. Like, I don't know what word you would use there.
I was going to go the opposite direction, but I'm not here.
Smother.
Yeah,
Yeah,
why
we
not?
can try some other.
Nothing found.
I think we just look into the cases regular more and try to get more information from there that we can then base further guesses off of.
Yep, absolutely.
Which I assume you're gonna not. It's gonna make us take time, right?
Pretty much the only thing on file is what I told you. Which is
Oh yeah, this would be going out and having to like.
when
talk
they
to the
when they
general
came to
store.
him he was quite delirious, but they ended up letting him go because he calmed down.
What officer handled it?
Random officer A.
Are they in the office?
We'll say yes.
Can we go talk to them about the case?
Sure, we'll say it's this guy.
Nice. Oh, I'm not gonna move my deck.
Random officer A.
Yes, his name's Alan. There you go.
Alan Wake over here.
He's a writer.
He's a bit of a writer.
All right. Well, considering we are, or at least, yeah, I'm gonna say at least I am Sahad is assisting, looking into like the chain of arsons in general. We go to talk to Officer A and just kind of ask for his recount of the kid that night, anything he said, and just a general recount of things that maybe weren't in the file, a more in-depth personal recount.
He basically gives you roughly the same account, but with like the details of what it was. Like the kid was seemingly scared of the arsons going on and wanted to have like a bunch of fire extinguishers and was real upset that everyone had bought them out. But he was like out of control, delirious, and then all of a sudden he kind of snapped back into it and calmed down as if he was back to normal. It almost seemed like it was coming in waves, but after a while of him being back to normal, they decided to let him go.
We pulled the kid's file. Or are you not gonna let us?
The kid's file?
Yeah, like just not like criminal record, but just general information. His name, his address, legal guardian.
Oh yeah, you could pull the kid's file. Nothing really seems very suspicious. He attends high school. He's got no previous record of anything like this. Just nothing suspicious pokes out to you about the parents.
Parents were informed about this, right?
Yes. Parents would have been informed.
Yeah, I don't know how much more there is to dig into that right now, then. With where it goes.
If there is, I can't think of it.
Hmm?
Check on the kid directly.
Yeah, we could, but at the moment, if
You don't have
there's no indicated like problems in the household, this is the first time that any sort of thing like this has happened with him. Charges weren't pressed,
Hmm.
and he seems to be back to normal. Parents are aware. At the moment, there doesn't seem to be a ton of reason to just stop into their house.
Hmm.
We definitely could.
Come for a wellness check.
I don't know if it makes sense to, but we could. What does ours think?
Yeah, I kind of agree. I do think that there is precedent where we could go for a wellness check, but given that it was a pretty isolated incident and doesn't really seem to be a recurring thing, I don't know if there would be a necessity to. So
Yeah, I think it's if we see his name pop up again, probably. But being a one-off, being the fact that it seemed more like a mental health issue, like kind of like a brief manic break or something, like it's probably better to have him go to mental health professionals, not the police. And it sounds, from what we can see, like the parents are decently responsible.
yeah,
So yeah, I think it's just left as is until anything else may or may not pop up.
Okie doke.
What's the status on Kime's thing, by the way? Forget how many days it's been.
Which thing?
Mother.
Remind
the
me?
request to look into her case, her case or cold case that she was looking for.
That happened on the 8th. She asked you.
I don't think we decided how long it would take us to get that information from the other station.
I believe your station already had pretty open access to it due to one of the involved parties living in your city, moving to your city. So I believe you guys just need to sit down and grab it, which you can do now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since we're already in here doing scene stuff. Yeah,
We may
let's
as
say
well
it. We do that
grab
now.
that and let her know that we can have that for her tomorrow.
Yep.
Or
So
later today if you didn't have any other plans.
I suppose, yeah, if Kime wants to use social slot today to come in after May,
Yeah, she can come in after.
we could definitely do that.
Alright.
Sure, I can come in the afternoon.
Well, in that case.
Yep.
Back to the spot.
Yeah, may as well go ahead and get ready.
all right. With that out of the way, ba-ba-da-ba-ba-bum. I mean, anything in town that
No, nothing
Okay.
special.
nothing special. Understood. All right. I'll bump
As-
us to afternoon and figure out what happened to the music.
Yes, bot has died. I was just noticing that.
Killing them again.
Unless one dies and resurrects. And killed itself and then comes back later.
Still on this
It's just having issues. Just use a different one.
Yep.
I have multiple here for a reason.
You forgetting you cannot just edit a bot command. All right. So there's now afternoon free hours, so you may send yourself wherever you'd like.
After moon.
After moon.
Well, I mean,
We've got some accounted for us.
just say, I'm gonna move real far.
What the heck is May gonna do? Are they still working at the cafe?
Yes.
Yes.
We're showing up at the cafe because otherwise you're just gonna sit there and keep working and not do anything.
How fucking dare you? You're just gonna go to fucking work and do your job? What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, yeah, okay, buddy.
Making a living? Couldn't be me.
In this
Akio?
economy?
Akio, you think you can work? You fucking think you can work in my city?
I mean, fine. May has school. She only has to do it during the weekdays. She doesn't have any greater obligations.
Yeah.
Rage.
Akio's on his money grubbing arc right now.
Wow.
Alright.
That's me on Monday.
Yeah. Alright, let's start back at the police station.
Boy.
Alright, now this is going to be a funny one. Because though I am God, Kayame is probably going to have to be the one who tells you what's mostly on that file.
No, that's God, guy. I sent God all the stuff.
You did send me all the stuff, however.
I sent you a whole thing. I
Is
can't
God
do-
trying to get out of his responsibilities?
I don't have access to my slave labor works right now. I'm kind of happy I sent you that on Discord now. I don't have to do a monitor to look at both.
Yes, it's
So
your
God.
job to read it out, God.
Uh, I'll explain to you right quick. Probably should do other people first so I can give you the gist.
Okay.
Make someone else do a scene first.
Never mind.
I'm
We'll,
gonna type
we're gonna.
back to that.
We'll circle back.
I'm
We'll
gonna type
circle back.
and mute, and then when I'm unmuted, I'm ready.
Okay.
From here, I don't know what to do in a cafe scene.
Well,
Pet
you're here
cats.
now.
Drink coffee.
I arrive at the cafe and say hi.
Hi.
Howdy.
Let me see here. Let me give you some insider info here. So, if you target Paul for this conversation, you'll probably get a rank up. But Paul and Akio are also due for a rank up that they can do whenever. But they also they're not due for a rank up. They're due for social targets. So yeah, I'd say you could probably make this your rank up with Paul. If you want. And Akio vibes.
And treat the other customers.
Yes. Which, though I have not placed them, they are there.
I am blanking on what to do for the social scene.
So you're an American, I hear.
I hear you like cheeseburgers and fireworks.
And guns.
And guns.
Those
Yeah,
are
get the
illegal
guns.
here.
We just ate cheeseburgers. Shut the fuck up.
It's absolutely hilarious because literally Eric was telling me that he wants to do a gun build for this funny One Piece campaign that I'm thinking of.
Hmm.
Like, what if I did guns? Which is very American. It's okay, we're also buying time for Kayame to send me the things that I did not have organized well enough.
Do I have to
That's
fucking... Does Akio have to roll in here and make the fucking combo for you two? Hold on.
I'm trying to think. I think Paul knows that May was dealing with stuff earlier, so I guess I can fill him in on stuff being dealt with somewhat.
Yep, that would work.
So I'll go, hey. I'm not really sure how to start with this, but I got some of the stuff I was dealing with sorted out. I don't know how much you were aware of it. But
Well, I didn't know too much just because I don't like to pry. But if you're getting some of it worked out, I mean that's great.
yeah. I'm not really sure what to say, but did appreciate the offer, even if I probably wasn't going to follow up on it at the time. But it's done now. I don't know how much you need to hear about personal drama or anything, but yeah.
I mean, I'm here for as much as you want to share, but if you don't want to share any, I mean, I offer you my support in solidarity, I guess.
Well, I'll start at the ending instead of the beginning. I'm now the envy of every millennial or something.
You own a house?
Basically.
Yep, that'll do it.
Yeah, no. I need to tidy the place up. But yeah, had problems with my father and got those sorted out. And now I've got a house.
That's great to hear. If you need a hand with tidying up, I can always offer my services.
Yeah, I've probably got a bunch of stuff to move. I'd appreciate a hand. Probably need to go clean stuff out, donate a bunch of it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I may ask you at some point for a hand with that when I finally get around to it, or at least get stuff sorted out a little bit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let me know.
Mm-hmm. You know, you're very good at not prying into stuff. Considering you've not asked a single thing about what happened.
Well, I mean, if I needed to know it, then I would have been told.
I mean, that's true.
I mean, if you're not going around telling anybody your deepest, darkest secrets, which I get, then I'm not going to ask for them.
Yeah, fair.
But if you were able to work stuff out for yourself, more power to you. Just know that I am always here to help if need be.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of as like a celebratory thing, Paul is going to walk out back, and after like a minute or two, come out and put down a hot chocolate in front of May.
Ooh, thank you. Yeah, maybe I'll enjoy the hot chocolate.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, thanks. You'll probably find out more about what happened if you come give me a hand tidying stuff up or moving stuff around. But no need to rush things.
Oh yeah, whenever you're ready, let me know. I'll be there.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Mm-hmm.
Okie dokie. Huh, with that, I will hit you with a...
Yeah, next rank you can hear about some of May's trauma that's been dealt with,
Hell yeah.
and help May move out old boxes of her dad's stuff or something.
Alright. So... Ba-ba-da-ba. Akio, you get some work done. You still get your gold.
Imagine.
Imagine that.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so we'll go police station, where I will await my summarized information.
I gotta ask. Did I get or did Ryuzo and I get a convo with May for the last scene?
No, as last scene was plot.
Okay, that makes sense.
You're gonna give Hada and I a +1 after this day, right? A double stack of us together. I feel like you have to.
What's up?
I said Hada and I are getting a +1 for the day, right? Even though we're doing like group scenes, because the two of us will have been together for the entirety of Sunday.
This one counts as this one here counts as social hour stuff, so this one will be the +1s. All right. So you pull up a file on Kawakono Shoka. Which is a suicide case.
Hank's going on.
Hank is Brown.
Yep.
Let's go. All right.
God is reading the file.
So to summarize what you've read in this report, it was a kid that appeared to have jumped from the school roof while there was no one else around the school. There was originally a suspect of foul play, but there was no motive or evidence of foul play, so eventually this foul play was dismissed. And was one of many occurrences in which a kid being bullied took their own life. And that is more or less the gist of it. A lot of cases were similar in the area that just no one could be held accountable for, so they were ruled as generic suicides.
You say jumped at the school with no one around. Like, what? Like, school closed?
Like, I'd say probably snuck up onto the roof, stayed hidden, waited until there was no one around, and then jumped. Seems to be what
Okay.
happened. But that's the gist of what is found in your report.
I'm assuming suspected of foul play just because there were so many incidents like it that also didn't really have any kind of clear.
There was similar incidents and very clear reports of bullying. But as the act was taken while no other kids could have been present, there was no proof or anything.
There's
Okay.
not really proof any which way what the exact cause was, so we just have a suspected cause.
Yeah.
I believe I'm getting some God side notes that may correct something. All right.
Alright.
The staff reported it. So, like, the staff of the school. Oh, I see. Yeah.
Like,
So there
kids
was
left for the day and then it happened, or like
kids left for the day. Staff were still there, and then plop.
and then the rest is the same.
So the call came from the staff who had already checked, and there was no one there.
For just this case, or all the similar ones?
Not all of the other suicides happened at the school. So, as far as this case is the case was concerned, it's just for this case.
I know, yeah, they don't all have to be at
But-
the same school, but are they all the same situation? Suicide, jump off a roof, nobody around, reported by staff, or do they differ? Because one establishes a pattern, the other does not.
They do differ. There's no exact pattern.
Okay.
They're just enough to make you scratch your head, like just similar enough to make you scratch your head but dismiss it. I would say. Like, it seems more like it's a trend than a pattern.
Hmm.
The cases are at least not similar enough that you could consider it a killer's MO or something like that.
Yeah, you wouldn't consider them linked so much as just like
Strangely
a bad
coincidental.
trend going on.
I'm assuming that based on what we would be able to pull, there were nothing that would link any of the victims together. Nothing obvious, at least, other than the bullying and the similarity of how it happened.
Yeah, so some of the cases of suicides weren't kids that were reported to be bullied.
They were just kids. We talking like straight A students, kids failing, in between, a mix.
Mixed.
I'm trying to see if there's anything else really that the two of us can draw out of it that we would be relaying email aside from just the general overview of what we found out. Unless Hada's got any more questions to ask, I think I'm pretty much out.
Yeah, I think I am too.
With that, we can say we tell Kime what you wanted to know and not repeat it all because you just read it all out.
Yeah, it's just about what I've been told. That's all I can dig up on it.
I know in our digging the two of us looked pretty heavily for actions or any linking factors, and there doesn't really seem to be anything concrete aside from, the similar circumstances of it being kids in school.
I do have one more God question.
Oh.
In digging through the various case and the other various reports, did we find anything that looks like it should have been followed up on but wasn't?
Oh, that's a good question.
Hmm. That's a great question that I'm getting an answer typed to me about.
You're not getting an answer. You're having a premonition.
I'm having a god premonition at the moment.
There's just a bit of, slow connection, so it takes time for the data to get into your brain.
Sometimes it takes a while for ideas to crystallize.
A few cases had mentalities drop randomly.
I'm sorry, what?
So
Like-
sudden mood shifts.
Sudden shifts in
Okay.
like mental stability and not
Sudden shifts as reported by who, though?
I would assume family, friends, and people who knew them, but
Only because in the case, if it's just like parents, I mean, let's be real, a lot of times they're not sudden shifts and parents just don't fucking pay attention.
I would assume it's things like the teachers notice that they're fine one day and then suddenly they're horribly depressed or things like that, but definitely good to clear up.
yeah, not all of the cases, but usually it would be like parents, staff, coworkers would report that the ones that did have sudden drops in mental state were sudden. And it was random. There was no real reason for it.
No known reason, anyways.
Yeah, well, like there was nothing they could attribute it to. Like nobody could figure out why.
And,
Okay.
we'll convey that as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's worth mentioning as well, so we will relay that as well.
I wasn't very close to very many of the victims, just this one. Not a lot of them came to me. So whoever they weren't seeking help.
Given the sudden mood shifts of some of them, that does make sense.
I can only assume that they followed suit with their actions shortly after. Which isn't usually how it happens.
Ryuzo will kind of like let out a sigh, like a heavy one. Before speaking up, saying, well, I know I at least keep loose tabs on some cold cases that kind of don't sit with me right. And I mean, I can see why these also wouldn't really sit with a person right, and they certainly don't with me. Something seems off, and I don't quite know what, so I will add this to my list of cold cases that I keep tabs on, kind of keep an ear out for, and if I hear anything new, I will be sure to let you know.
I plan to head to the city myself in the coming weeks to see if I can find anything.
If you do find anything out, let us know, and make sure not to do anything that's going to put yourself in any danger. If you do find it something serious,
If you need any company, if I'm free, let me know.
me as well.
I will. I'll probably be heading up multiple times, so I'll definitely bring you one of the times. Especially if I have more reason to go back.
Well, while there's nothing concrete, it definitely seems like there is more to investigate.
Agreed.
I want to go forward assuming that there could be a potential metaverse involvement, but I don't know how much it's been used.
Well, if you do ever find anything that you think might produce a metaverse hit, please do make sure that you're with one of us before you test it and get sucked in.
I won't be going in without anyone, especially if I'm in a different city.
Other than that, unless there's more that you want, I don't think there's much more that Ryuzo and Hada can offer at the moment.
I think we're good.
Unless God has things to say.
Yeah.
No. No, God has no comments.
Okay.
Yeah, Hada will leave it off with we'll figure it out.
I sure hope so.
Alright. And with that, I will give everyone involved in this scene a funny little +1.
And with that, the police have successfully clocked a full day in the office on their day off.
Yeah.
More time.
Wow.
Do we get paid for the morning?
You get paid for the afternoon.
Well, we got social points in the afternoon, but he didn't let us have that in the morning.
Still technically working.
And you kept us at work.
We were working on the actual case that's been going on, so.
First of all, I didn't keep yous anywhere.
Aye.
Listen, you always say these things that take place at work are social or money. You didn't give us social because you said it was story.
Listen, fine.
So money.
Take your 2,000 gold. Take your $20.
Exactly. I
Hell
got
yeah, man.
I have fast food to buy, okay?
Yeah, $20 can get you some stuff.
Alright. And with that, ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba, we come back. It
And then we go home.
becomes nighttime.
The game struggles. I'm such a nerd.
And then we shall do the morning school work. Ryuzo and Hada, still no breakthroughs from your work things. You look into the general store incident as much as you can, and just nothing seems like it's going to lead you anywhere. And it's just kind of like no progress.
I would say, unless you're going to tell me no, I would like to say at some point during work, I made my way over it to talk to the general store guy myself, kind of get my own account of things to see if anything changes.
You get your own
See
account.
if there's new details, maybe that, a different investigator or officer didn't really get.
Essentially, he just tells you, like, the kid came in, asked where we kept the fire extinguishers, told him that we were sold out because everybody had bought what we had left in stock, and the kid just started, like, flipping out as if like with this weird sense of fear about him.
Has he seen the kid before?
There's a kid that came in from time to time and just previously was just a nice little quiet kid.
Okay, so they have seen him before, and this is normal even in the general store owner's eyes.
Yeah, like, it's abnormal. From everyone that's been talked to about the situation, it seems incredibly abnormal.
Okay.
And if I remember correctly, Mondays are 0.5 days?
They are.
Let me go ahead and throw those out. Alright. So I will bump us to the afternoon free time. And if at any time you can choose any timing if you want to try putting names into the navigation app, like, you can do that whenever you want.
It's only the two of them that know the name. Like,
It's only the two of them that know the name. No one else can try except for the two of them unless they share the name.
Basically, what God means is if anybody who's not the two of us has ideas, out of character, tell the two of us. And then
Yes.
we'll be like, we have had a revelation.
I mean, yeah.
Yes, I mean,
It's mild hope that you'd have told us the name at some point, but actually, wait, where am I going? I can see.
Well, until there's really a strong indicator that it's metaverse related, it's really a hard
Yeah.
pressed for the police to tell you confidential police information for no reason. Especially May, who you're like, what? At a 2 with me?
True.
Maybe a 3 now?
We're at 2 with +5 convo, so we're overdue a third one.
Exactly. So that's why I was saying earlier, like, unless Hada's gonna tell you things, you're not really at a point with Ryuza where he'd be divulging such information to you.
You just gotta beeline our social links. That's it.
Anyways, I'm dragging Hada with me to town. As a side note, because we were at the office before, you'll note that I tell you that I'm gonna pick you up, and I tell you to dress in civilian clothing.
All right, I will make sure that I change before we leave.
Even though we are obviously following up on leads that I'm following up with, this is kind of like on the clock, but not on the clock. We'll skip the scene where I asked for approval to have you. You have approval to come with me, so.
social hours, so send yourselves where you want to be.
I'll take the current one if that's good, I guess. I'll take the generic may actually get some nondescript counseling
Joke.
because we're not do social scenes unless you want to do a different thing on a social hour.
No, we're fine.
Then I'll take that.
Everybody where they want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Kaime and May are getting some unseen counseling out of the way.
It's just conversation May's actually properly getting like whatever counseling or something.
It's now one of the
Uh,
no canceling.
Paul and Akio, you guys working, making money?
Cafe's closed today.
Oh.
You picked the worst days to not go to the cafe.
Paul, the cafe's closed today. Are you still there?
Yeah, I wanted to drop that when everybody's all locked in because no meta.
I have, yeah, my plans are locked in regardless. So
Did you want me to be here?
Akio will always shoo you out when this kind of thing happens.
But Paul is not there.
Yes.
Ooh.
Does he stick around though?
You stick around to eavesdrop? Probably not, because Paul's not an eavesdropper, but...
yeah, but what if Paul just went to his house, which happens to, share a wall?
Happens to be the dumpster.
Paul forgot something at the cafe.
Ooh, what if? What if
Paul
Paul
goes
went
to the
out?
gym. Paul goes to the gym.
Paul goes to the gym.
Paul goes to the gym.
Akio has another set of secret squirrel stuff going while no one's around to witness.
Actually, you know what? No, Paul will go to the general store
Ooh.
to.
Give his own exposition.
Paul will go to the general store because he doesn't know specifically what's going to happen, but he kind of knows what's going to happen. So, he's gonna stock up on a few drinks and such to help out with the probable pissed off Akio when he gets back.
Alright, Ryuzo and Hada, you're good with just going into town?
You don't gotta load us in. I'll kind of give a brief overview summary, but yeah, you don't gotta load us in anyways.
No. I just figured whether or not you wanted to reveal what's going on while you're in there or not.
Yeah, it's nothing huge, but like a little bit. So one, Hada has been told to dress in civilian clothing, and that I will pick him up. So I show up at your house. Ryuzo shows up at your house, Hada. And you notice immediately when I come in that I hand you a helmet, and you look outside and notice that I have arrived on a motorcycle. To your knowledge, I do not own a motorcycle.
You do now.
Okay. When did you get that? That's new.
I will note when looking at it, it looks like it is in good shape, but also well used. It doesn't look like I just got it. It looks like I've had it.
Okay. I didn't know you rode.
Occasionally. I save it for special occasions. But keep that to yourself for now.
Okay.
And then, yes, I will pick you up. We will drive into the city. Greg, I'm just going to freestyle some things that are in the city that I don't need maps for, if you're cool with that.
Absolutely.
Got it.
The city is meant to be the freestyle, these things are here place anyways.
Perfect. I don't need maps, so you don't got to worry about that. Yep, we'll drive into the city. And Ryuza takes you to a coffee shop. Not like a cafe, but just like a regular kind of like chain coffee shop type feel. A little more corporatized. Park out front on the street. And I'll say I don't immediately get off the bike. And I'll kind of leave you a dead space, dead air opening if Hada decides to be inquisitive in any nature. If not, then I'll carry on.
You probably would get a. So, what are we looking into?
Ryuza pauses for a moment. Not like speaking wise, but you just kind of notice him stop shifting around how he's thinking. You got, you're right, now I think about it, I haven't really debriefed you much, have I?
No, not really.
Well, the important thing for today is that we are here following up on a lead and just doing some simple reconnaissance. So, and then you'll notice him look across the street. And across the street from this coffee shop, you'll notice a nightclub. We're doing an old-fashioned staking out of the place. And I don't really fully tell you all the details of what we're looking into, about, as opposed to, like, I show you a picture of who we're keeping an eye out for with no name. And then I will say we go inside, order some food, order some drinks, sit down by the window, and just kind of idly chat while keeping tabs on the nightclub for a while. But we don't see the guy. He doesn't show up. Nothing weird really seems to happen over there. So overall, it's a pretty uneventful day. We go back outside. We get back on the bike. I look back at Hada and I was like, well, I was kind of hoping that more would happen today so that I could kind of explain to you as things were happening better, but it appears not. So we'll find some time to sit down soon, and I'll give you a more proper debrief before we do this again.
Sounds like a plan.
I will leave it up to Hada. If you think anything that's happened is weird and you want Hada to question me, roll insight, like, all of that's up to you. You don't need to. It's not really pressing, but
Yeah, I'm not going to. Hada is at the point of he's done some not great stuff, and you have been remarkably cool about it. So I am not going to push any. So I want to know what's going on, but I'm not going to pry.
okay. Then yeah, afterwards we're all wrapped up. It was kind of uneventful, but you got to see a photo of the guy we're looking out for. You kind of realize, we're staking out a place. It's a nightclub. Like, you have a bit of information, but that's really all you get. And then we drive back from the city.
Okay. That's everything?
That is everything.
Ute. Alright, I've already given you your +1 convos, so we are pretty golden on that section. I'll give Paul a conversation at the general store because he probably has to talk to people to make up some time.
No, Paul just stands and, like, stares at one of the items in the store for, like, 5 hours.
Akio.
Yes.
In the closed cafe,
Yes.
is there anything you would like to reveal to the general public, or shall we keep it all secret, Squirrely?
Secret squirrely.
Okay, I like it. In that case, we're going to transition to night. Everybody goes home and shit.
If it wasn't clear, by the way, I've stopped doing so much Secret Swirl because the Hada and I hit the point where things kind of got out more.
Yeah. Alright. So Paul comes home.
Yes.
I'm assuming Paul come home to empty cafe and just you?
Yep.
Cool.
And he smells cigarette smoke by the dumpster. As always.
Let's do this then. So Paul, you pop back in with some groceries you picked up. You see Akio, and I'll let you go from there. What kind of a mood is Akio in at the moment?
That's a question. You know what? You would have just recently come back in. Well, maybe get Paul to make a perception check to see if he could just smell it, coming the smigarette smell from Akio when he comes up and gets close to it.
11.
11, but with a passive 15 perception.
Oh yeah, he'd probably at least be like, ah.
You likely get a whiff.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, he hides it pretty well. And he's had a little bit of time, at least. But you know, just from that, you can clearly tell stress.
Paul will set down a grocery bag on the counter and is like, well, I don't know how today went, so I bought beer.
Huh.
And Paul will grab one and crack open the can. And instead taking drinks.
Why did you do that?
Well, no reason. It's just when you close up shop, it can mean a number of things. I've figured.
I was just talking with my financial advisor,
Mm.
and talking about things, and I think we can finally have the go-ahead on getting the coffee over to the police station.
That's good. I'm sure Howden and Ryuzo would be happy to hear that.
Yeah. Definitely nice getting a little bit extra coming in, especially.
Mhm.
You're just staring at the bag. He's just staring.
You can have one if you want.
Fuck it. It's the first time he's like sweared in a while. He just cracks one open with the boy.
Boy, singular.
Singular boy. And he kind of fuck it, I'll say this is there. There's a fucking shitty ass little stool behind the counter. He just kind of like unfolds and just kind of sits down, arm on the counter, just like takes a big sip. Well, do you want me to unwind a bit more?
Mm-hmm. That's what I got them for.
Thanks, I guess.
Yeah, no problem. Remember, anything at all, I can help.
Yeah. he's kind of drinking. He's just like, probably only this one. I don't want a hangover or anything.
I only bought a few, so I can throw the rest in the fridge if we got the room.
And like looks behind him, like just like holding the can by like 2 fingers. There's a little bit of space left, which reminds me. Probably have to do a little shopping in a few days. Ah,
Tomorrow's issue. Or, I guess, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
yeah. I don't know, I think that's all we got.
Pretty much.
Hmm.
So just
Solid.
kind of sit around making small talk while drinking beer.
Alrighty. That was mostly just a, I wanted to see what some of the aftermath of said closed cafe was
Yeah.
going to be.
Yeah, so yeah, it definitely wasn't like last time. There definitely wasn't any broken chairs or anything like that. Everything seems as it was. Nothing seemed to be moved around or anything. No chaos, as it were.
Solid. Okay. Well, I'll throw us back. Alright. So, let's bump on ahead to the morning. Do work, school. Hada and Ryuzo, any plans for what you want to look into today?
The main case, the arsons. For me, anyways.
Yeah, pretty much the same.
Is there anything you want to look into in regards to the arson case that any leads you want to try and track down?
What leads do we have aside from go to the kids' parents? Because we sat here and did a whole round of questioning earlier.
That is essentially your only leads at the moment. If you wanted to go question the kids' parents, or if you wanted to just look into it more aside from that.
I still don't think there's. I don't think we've hit dead ends for long enough to resort to bothering the kids' parents, and nor is there enough, extra things happening with him to spur us to immediately go to him. At least for me, unless Hada has a different perspective that we chat about and make a decision.
No, I agree with that. I think at this point, I would probably, if I'm investigating it, I would probably just be re-going over the locations that the fires were set at, seeing if there's any kind of connections between those, maybe checking to see if there's any connections with the locations and the one suspect that we potentially have. But other than that, basically just doing a deeper dive into the case and see if I can find any connections whatsoever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but the same. All the general stuff that we would be doing anyways, nothing hyper specific.
All right. So digging, it doesn't really lead you anywhere. You're kind of just met with a lot of dead ends, no matter where you end up looking today.
All of the fires were started in the same way, right?
No.
No.
There
I'm done.
was
Remember the order, but God does.
there was a fire that occurred that was ruled a natural cause due to Halloween decorations,
Right.
the wires faulting.
I think I had written that one out of my mind as unimportant.
Then there was a fire that was caused by gasoline, and a fire that you found a seemingly purposely slashed electrical wire.
Okay, so they are using different methods of accelerant.
And
You
then
found a failed arson.
there was a failed arson that was attempting to use gasoline, left a single scorch mark, but the rest of the gasoline did not ignite.
I think the most interesting part to me with like different use of accelerants and whatnot, like they all are arson, but like there's no consistent MO.
Yeah, the
Is
only
what I'm noticing.
consistent MO is that houses are being set on fire.
And it's specifically houses, not any kind of businesses or anything like that.
So far, just houses.
Are the people home?
There was one where there was people home that they ended up actually losing lives. I think it was the most recent fire that actually went down.
Is there any link between the houses, like any kind of link between the addresses, same street, same anything that may link the particular houses together?
There's nothing that seems to be linking the houses together. They seem chosen at random.
How many? Was there only the one failed one, right?
Only the one failed one that you know of so far.
Were for the failed one, did the homeowners report any stolen anything?
No.
So it's not theft gone wrong. I was just thinking off chance it might be like thieves and they're like burning the house down to cover their tracks, but no.
Anything about the people in the houses that might link them together?
Yeah, occupations, age
Nothing,
groupings, like
Same
anything.
workplaces, same schools, same anything.
nothing in common.
I think I am plumb out of ideas.
Can you tell me, can you go over the failed one again? Everything there is about the failed one.
Failed one, gasoline was poured on the house. The gasoline was ignited, and then it went out, left a scorch mark, went out, and would have went out quickly, which leads you to believe that whoever started it simply ignited the gasoline and took off the moment it ignited.
Any signs as to what put it out? Like, whether it just didn't have any more material to burn to, got deprived of air.
It kind of seems like it kind of just went out on its own. Like, there was a splash of gasoline that was separate from the rest. Like, there was no trail to the rest of the gasoline. So the one section that got lit up didn't ignite the other parts.
They splashed it on the house, right?
It was splashed on the house.
So, I'm sorry, God, but something has to stop that. It's on wood connected to all of the other wood. It will keep spreading unless.
I never
House
said.
was gone.
I never
Rain.
said. I never said the
Something.
part that ignited was on the wood house. The section
So
that
this-
ignited was
What?
on an exposed foundation that had no other trail of gasoline leading up to the part
Oh,
that
so
was
like
not just stone
concrete.
foundation. Yeah.
Okay.
Assuming the answer is no, because it would be far too convenient if the answer is yes. Nothing was found at the failed arson that would be any kind of indication of like the the fire starter, like a lighter or matches or anything like that?
No.
No
I assume so,
footprints.
but
No.
Like they didn't like walk through a lawn or something, and it was kind of soft ground. Like they had mud on their shoes and stepped on the concrete. Like nothing.
Nothing you were able to find.
Where on these houses overall is gas being splashed? Front, the back, away from the road?
Some of them, between the two that had to do with gasoline. One of them, assumedly done in like the middle of the night and pitch black, was just a random corner or like front, and then one of them was like more towards the back. But you can relatively assume that these are being done under the cover of night.
I'm running out of things to try to find patterns on. That's pretty much all I have for right now.
Okay. Well, that is essentially where your investigation leads you. You feel as though until the arsonist slips up, there is probably very little chance that you are going to be able to unravel this until cases like these are cases of people covering themselves pretty well and needing to accidentally leave behind some sort of evidence. And there's no way that you can stop the arsons happening preemptively in
I have
this
one more.
current type
actually.
situation.
That kid at the general store. Where does he live in relation to all of the houses that burnt down? Or like even the failed one? Like all of the targets. Where does he live in relation to them? Obviously you don't gotta show me on a map. Just give me an idea.
It's a pretty small town, so everything's within reasonable walking distance.
Yes, but like,
So
is
he's
he
not
in the middle
like,
of them all?
I wouldn't
Is he in a completely different
say
neighborhood?
I'd say he's in a completely different neighborhood. His neighborhood has not yet been hit with an arson.
Have all of the arsons been in like different neighborhoods up to this point, or kind of similar area?
They've been pretty split up.
Okay, so yeah, okay, that's all.
Whoever's doing this has some sort of intention to make sure you can't tell where they're from based on the houses they're hitting. That
there wouldn't be a
is
specific gas station that would be like in the centralized location to the houses that have been hit, would there?
no.
Okay. That's all I got.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm out of things as well for now.
Oh, that ends the investigations of the day. So we will jump ahead to the free time of the day.
Well, it's in Kai's office every day. Unless you're just gonna not go to another thing, in which case I might as well. We don't need to power farm social links though.
Yeah, not yet.
No, she's just. You know what? You know what? Actually, I don't have this anymore. Oh boy.
You're going to Tamira's?
Yep, she's normal training in Tamira's.
Aren't we at max level for Persona?
Yes, but she has a habit of doing it too. I just didn't reveal it before.
Okay. Cool.
That wasn't my secret thing. Sometimes work was not work.
Kayame
Hmm.
secretly sometimes went to the metaverse, and that is why, if you may or may not have noticed, everyone else got an SP refill towards the end of the last palace, but Kayame didn't because she was already at max level.
Hmm.
And I did that under the radar, wondering
Yeah,
if
we were
anybody
hiding
would-
that. I was like, yeah, you don't need to hide it.
wondering if anyone was gonna notice. Is everyone where they want to be? Oh, Paul's going to the gym. Okay.
Jim Paul.
Akio, you working? You doing the work?
Yes.
Okay.
I take it back.
Okay.
Nice flex is perfect.
Oh, okay, all right.
What?
Something's going on there. Okay, all right. I'll save that for last then.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a very simple little thing.
This wasn't why I was coming here, but sure.
We can do it up.
I was just coming here. Be here. Don't we need to do a scene anyways?
Do
Hold
we?
on. Only by-
Probably.
I can't remember.
Ryuzo.
Plus 6,
and-
yeah, we do.
Oh yeah, Ryuzo and Akio are very overdue.
Whatever you have planned, does that work for the...
Probably.
Eh, it's like a little thing, but
It's Link level 3. Little things work.
Okay. Good.
All right. Let's do the diner. +1 convo and have a nice meal.
Yep, just a ongoing meal.
Beauty. Arcade not due, so just convo.
Just gaming.
Gaming gamer. Same deal for the gym.
Mm-hmm.
All right. In that case,
Let me roll the loot table. I can't get XP. Let me roll the loot table.
Oh, damn, I'm already there.
right, loot table. Roll a D100 for me, chap.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Hey, you do pretty good. You get a roll on the loot table.
Wow.
You get a pocket bomb.
Yeah.
A bomb.
Okay, good.
There we go. Added to the inventory.
We better get mini nuke at some point, please.
All right. Ryuzo and Akio. Ryuzo, you come into the cafe. You see Akio's here working. Paul's out.
I got no specific plans here. Akio can take the lead. I have literally just come here to idle chat and drink coffee.
Speaking of coffee, he sees you walk in and sit down, and it kind of like goes wide-eyed for a second and goes, "Oh, well, this is convenient." And then he fucking goes out back, and then comes over, brings out two fucking the big old tankers or whatever the fuck, you know, the dispensers, and puts the coffee and tea on the table. I finally got around to doing this, by the way.
Out of character. This is for the office, right?
Yes.
The
Okay.
big, like the big takeout containers that have like the nozzle on them.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I just wasn't 100% sure by the description.
Look. Okay, like at my work, we have like these big like fucking things. All right.
No, I know exactly what you mean. I've used them too.
Yeah. That's the image in my head. You think it's something different, but it's whatever. It doesn't matter. We have the dispensers for the tea and coffee. Imagine.
Did you give me a drink before you've done this, or is this literally as I'm walking in?
As you're walking in.
Okay.
He's just like, oh shit, I was gonna like fucking whatever, but oh, you're just here. So I can just be like, oh hey, it's done. I finally got around to it.
I kind of, you see, like, Ryu's got kind of like a blank look for a second, because he's had a long last week, basically, with work, and more work. So he kind of just looks at you with a blank expression for a second before you see, like, the light bulb moment go off, as he remembers what the hell this is for.
Oh shit.
It's like, oh my god. Oh yeah, no, I remember now. I completely forgotten, but thank you so much. We'll need to bring this into the station and spread the word to all the other officers to give it a try. But I'll take them with me when it's time to leave. I wouldn't want to be drinking out of the officer's supply right now.
I mean, it's the afternoon. I suppose if you partook in a little bit of it, it wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah, fair enough.
On
I'll take
text-
I'll take a cup then.
Yeah, I forgot to text you this morning, but you just happened to come by, so you know. But yeah, just stop on by and I'll refill these whenever you bring them by.
Absolutely.
I only have these two right now, but hopefully later I'll get the budget just to have 4 overall and then just swap them out each. But, you know.
And how much do we owe you for this? Keep in mind, this is not Ryuzo asking, but it's like, this will get like invoiced to station.
I also don't know what this would cost, but let's just be like, I give you what it would cost. Ba 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 ba.
Perfect.
Insert generic big takeout coffee containers price here.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyways, yes, you tell me the price. And I'm like, awesome. I'll make sure to tell the chief tomorrow and invoice him for it. And you should see the payment roll in about a day or so. We'll say
Alright, then.
we get things done faster. It doesn't take fucking 2 business weeks.
Hmm.
Don't really have much more planned for the scene.
You got coffee and tea.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
The office got an upgrade.
The rest of it is just sitting, having a drink, and idle chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works for me.
And then the next upgrade will they get donuts.
Who makes the donuts? You or Paul?
It really could be either of us, really. We're just becoming the fucking the local Japan Tim Hortons. Slowly but surely.
Just the Tim Hortons origin story.
I think it might
Yes. I have. Wait, it's 2023. What do you mean?
be the Tim Hortons origin story in 2023.
Yeah.
This is how Japan got a Timmy's.
Jim Jordan's.
And then the fucking tragic story is the Tim Hortons actually did come to Japan, and then fucking this place got bought out. Like, oh shit. Tragic.
It's a bad ending.
That's capitalism.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
In any case,
Oh!
all right. So, yippee indeed.
Yippee.
We shall jump back out. And I believe that covers everything.
So I was gonna just go home and say Ryuzo was tired, but I decided I would be tired at the cafe.
I vibe with that.
It's a great place to be tired at.
Honestly, yeah.
You're in good company, let me tell you.
I just get to chill out with the cats, idle chat with Akio. Good dreams.
So I grab Paul by the scruff of his neck and drag him out of the gym.
Paul's out here with me.
Paul's gonna move into the gym eventually.
I'm with Paul right now, don't worry.
And I shall bump us ahead to the next morning because nothing happens at night.
That you know.
That I know of. It's true. That's true. You could be doing whatever at night. I don't know.
Don't worry, he's not doing anything at night. That was not an indication. Disclaimer. It's just a joke.
Ryuzo and Hada, is there anything you want to do for investigating today?
Is there anything different we can do that wasn't what we already did yesterday?
I'm gonna suggest pyromania as a keyword.
That's
Somewhere.
not necessarily a work thing, but yeah, we shove that into the.
Sorry,
yeah.
I just remembered I should suggest this.
Yeah, no. Nothing pops up.
I think God is willing to let us just basically do that whenever.
God is willing to let you put in whatever you would think of whenever you want to see if it gets you a result.
I figured.
Yeah, I got nothing specific for the investigation, but I will say at some point in the day, Hada will ask if Ryuzo is free tomorrow afternoon.
Of course.
And all right, well, if you wouldn't mind accompanying me, I'm gonna go have a come to Jesus meeting with my uncle.
Who's driving, me or you?
I'll pick you up.
Sounds like a plan. I'll get coffee for the occasion. Oh yeah. Also, at some point, minor thing, while in the office, I haul in the stuff Akio gave me, and I tell Hada. I tell the whole office, but Hada knew it was gonna happen, and Hada can now see that it has happened.
Hada is excited. He is very happy that this is happening. He finally did it. Oh, thank goodness. I thought I was gonna have to keep pestering him about it.
At this rate, I think we're gonna see a lot more people from around here down at the cafe once they get hooked.
Oh, absolutely. This is the best coffee in the entire town, and I make sure to say that loud as a kind of, hey, you need to come here and try this kind of way.
Ryuzo chimes in as well and is like, the tea as well for those who don't like coffee.
Either way, you can't go wrong.
We're covering all of our bases. But yeah, and nothing major, just... I mean, I got given the stuff, so now's the time for that to happen.
Okie doke. Alright, I'll jump us ahead to our free time for the day. You may now do as you please.
Paul is Jim.
Paul is Jim.
Yes.
Oh, he's Paul.
Hmm.
I don't know where I'm going now. I haven't done this.
Do you have plans at the cafe with Pata? Or just sending him there?
No, not really. Just going in for a nice drink and idle chit chat, and if we need to have a scene, we can do an idle chit chat scene, but I have no plan.
I'm just trying to figure out when to drag you into the here's the case scene.
Yeah, if you want to do that now, we can.
Might. Yeah. Yeah, fuck it. We'll do it at the cafe.
I am not sure today. I could just go do a social thing. Do you want me to come in to be at the cafe and overhear everything, or no?
If you come to the cafe, you're not gonna hear anything because we're not gonna discuss it.
Then no, I'll let you do your thing. I will. Maybe
Akio, I'm not worried about because Akio will be across the cafe behind the counter.
He's busy.
No, I'll not interrupt. I'll go to the arcade because no one else goes to the arcade.
Okie dokie. Let's see.
I'll get back on track with actually doing social links that aren't party members once. I think Hana and Ryu's are both kind of in the mid stages like you were before.
Arcade gains a convo. Clinic. I'm assuming clinic is just normal prescription pickup.
Yes, sir. Has not been done this week.
Gym, same deal.
Probably yes.
I'm gonna put it in there now.
Yes, Eric. Gym's normal. Yeah.
Ook. Let's go here then, because I'm assuming this is gonna be our setup. I can drag you through walls, but
Oh, go for it.
Yeah, just opposite end from the counter. Any booth.
I will say, as I walk in, Akio gets a big shit-eating grin from Hada, and I'm glad you finally decided to let us bring in coffee.
Oh yeah, before we sit down, like we both go over like idle chit chat with Akio for a minute, get some drinks, that kind of stuff. But no extended conversation.
Akio, you will get to work for this session, so you'll get a gold. You'll get your gold.
Man.
All right, Ryuzo and Hada, take her away.
1 second, I need to pull up my notes. Specific section of my notes, sorry. Yeah. So we sit down. I'm trying to think of the best way to start this. We sit down. We have our drinks.
If you want, I can just be blunt as hell, because he's been dying to ask.
Well, yeah. Do you know that I have like I'm meeting up with you here for the purpose of like actually bringing you into the fold more? So you can see Ryuzo kind of like sitting there trying to figure out where to start, and you can absolutely just be blunt and ask something. You
Alright.
know that this is the appropriate moment to do that.
Who are we looking into?
Well, before we start with who we're looking into, perhaps we should start with the why.
Okay.
And then you will see Ryuzo not pull out his journal, which is where you've seen things in before, his notebook. Rather, he pulls out folders, like files, cold case files, opens them up, and starts to kind of arrange them on the table. You can tell he's trying to get prepared to present things to you in kind of like an order that makes sense. And as he does so, you notice a couple of pictures of people. One distinctly is a black and white photo, and it looks quite similar to the one that you remember seeing in his notebook, of a, I don't want to say young woman, but not like old either. Let's say like She looks like she's in her late 20s,
Yeah, I was gonna say late 20s, early 30s.
would be your guess. You don't really know an exact age, but that's kind of immediately looking at it, that's around how old she looks. The photo doesn't look very recent either. And we will go from there. So Ryuzo will point down at the picture of the woman, noticing that Hada is kind of staring at it a bit, I would assume, since it's the one photo that you recognize.
Yeah.
So Ryuzo will point at her and tell you that her name is Priscilla. And she is the victim in question that this cold case surrounds. She was murdered a long, long time ago. Around... I didn't realize I never picked an exact date. We'll say... like 16 years ago. That's how long this has been a cold case. You can decide if immediately you're already wanting... You can interject basically anywheres here. Like a natural conversation. If, like, I'm going over something and you think Hada would be like, well, wait a minute, I, like, have a question. Please do so as we go along.
Okay.
So yes. I pointed the victim. Her name is Priscilla. You notice distinctly that her last name is redacted. There is only a first name. And in general, the details in the files about her have a good chunk of redacted information, which is not customary. Like, being a police officer, both of us being police officers, you've pulled files before, you've looked at cold cases before, you've looked at ongoing cases before. They don't normally have this much info blacked out, but this one does.
That will get a. Huh. This must have been pretty important if there's this much information redacted.
Yeah, it's a bit of a sensitive topic, for reasons that you will see as we delve farther into this. And they have been redacted at request of the commander. Mostly...
Eyebrow.
What?
You get a raised eyebrow.
Yes. I will note specifically, as you raise your eyebrow, Ryuzo will clarify, they weren't redacted on request of the commander, like right now. Like, this wasn't the thing that just happened and showing it to you. They've been this way for a while.
Okay.
So it's not a new thing. This woman was murdered 16 years ago in a drive-by shooting. And we don't really know who's responsible. The culprit was never found. However, there is a lot of suspicion from the people who were working on the case at the time, the commander being one of them, that the Yakuza was involved. As in, we think that they ordered the hit. We also think that they carried it out. As for, like, you know, this specific person, that's a bit harder to nail down.
No ideas why she would have been targeted.
When you ask this question, you notice for one of the first times really ever, because it's not a common thing, that Ryuza starts to kind of shift uncomfortably in his chair. As he pauses to think for a moment. And after that moment, he seems to kind of regain his composure and is fine again, before informing you that the reason that we think a hit was ordered on her, as far as we know, is that she used to be a member of the Yakuza and tried to exit. And if you're familiar with gangs in general, they generally aren't too kind about you leaving.
Yeah,
They don't really like that.
Understandable.
That is our reason for suspecting that it was them that put the hit out on her because she had left, and they probably didn't want any information leaking out. But you will note that you've not really heard a lot of these incidents happening. You don't really hear about people leaving in general, but super common thing that you hear that prior members that have left are like getting gunned down on the street.
Okay.
So with that in mind, the reason that Ryuza is looking into this, and he will be very open about that, is just this was a case that the commander, who is Ryuza's father, worked on back in the day before he was commander. And it was one that he was never able to solve. And as Ryuza got older and was expressing interest in, wanting to be an investigator, wanting to kind of follow in the footsteps of his father, he ended up kind of just telling stories about this one case that really bugged him, this one cold case that he was never able to really figure out, which is a common thing for officers. They always, usually after working a long time in the force, most of them have like that one case that was never solved that bugs them, right?
There are bound to be some, yeah.
So this is the one for the commander, and by extension, this is the one for Ryuzo. He has kind of taken it over. The commander's a busy man now. He doesn't really have time. So Ryuzo's kind of taken over looking into it. And at the moment, the only lead we have is a man. Can I just make a guy up, Greg? I actually didn't check this with you, but I don't think you care.
About the guy that you want to... I'm assuming this is becoming a social target?
Not necessarily, but it will lead into it. But it's just like a member of the Yakuza that is a name that I'm just gonna make up.
I use fantasy name generator.
You can either make it up, or you can just leave it as a thing that's told in character, but that the rest of us don't know. Like, that would be fine too, if you really wanted to, but you can make one up.
Okay, good.
I
I
think-
have a made-up name.
I think there's going to be enough members of the Yakuza that you can make up a name, and I can roll with it.
You can just roll with it, yeah. That's what I figured. But just checking, just in case. I don't know if God's got some special plans.
God's got some special plans, alright, but...
Okay. Well, anyways, yes. You get the name. The name is Ren Murata. And this is the... We don't really have suspicions that he's the one who carried out the hit or ordered it. However, this is a member of the Yakuza that we've identified that we believe might have information about it, because they've been around for a long time, and is the person that we think would be the easiest to kind of get to crack, if you know what I mean.
Right.
And so that is the person that we were looking for the other day at the nightclub. It's a place that Ryuza has been scoping out for quite a while, and there's a fair amount of Yakuza activity there, not necessarily criminal, but it's just kind of a place that they frequent, so it's easy to find people there. And apart from this, really, you're not really getting any more super willful information out of Ryuzo, and even looking at the files in front of you, which he's not hiding in the slightest, you notice that the details are pretty light. Like, it really was just like ex-member lives a happy life for a while, like doesn't really seem to be any issues, and then a couple years after the fact gets gunned down, like way after the fact, with no real concrete leads as to a specific person that can be tied to it. So Hana can take a second to kind of mull that over.
Yeah, after looking through the files and getting that information, I'll respond with well, I definitely see why this didn't sit right. I mean, going unresolved in and of itself, that's bad enough, but the fact that this hit was carried out so far after, That seems very off. Seems out of the ordinary. You would expect these kinds of things to happen pretty close to when the former member left.
I should note as well. I realized I kind of said this, but I didn't like explicitly clarify it. It is only the files involving the victim that appear to have like an abnormally high volume of redacted information. The suspect, there really isn't any redacted information. Maybe the odd thing here and there, but not much.
How old would you say this file is?
Pardon?
How old would you say the file is? Like how long ago?
16 years.
16 years?
16, yes.
Okay. Okay.
Do I need to have a conversation with God?
No. Nope. I just
Okay.
wanted to figure out.
Okay. Anyways,
I need
anything
to
else from Hada?
roll real quick.
You need to do a what roll?
I need to do a self roll real quick.
Go for it. You can also try to insight me or interrogate me or relative things if you'd like. I'm not saying any of those will produce specific results, but you're welcome to try.
Okay. I am going to insight you and see if I can get any kind of vibe as to. Well, no, because I'm pretty sure I've already got that. I'm not going to be able to insight who this person may have been based off of your reactions.
You know, you're not going to figure out who it is, but you might pick up on like body language things that might give you more information. Inferred information, but information nonetheless.
Well, I mean, I do already have some inferred information. And that was what the role was for, was whether or not I would just blurt out a question or have the tact to not pick at it.
You can insight, though, if you want to try to get information without asking a question to Ryuzo.
Well, that's the problem. I don't think that there's any information that I can really get that would be.
I'm saying this in there is something you can get if you insight well enough.
All right, let's roll the insight. Nope. That was still on self. That was only a 6, so no.
Yeah, I was gonna roll deception, but my pass was 17. So
Use your inspiration and use guidance. Or
I
don't.
don't think I have inspiration. Yeah. At this point, I will respond with a. All right, so. For now, I'm assuming we're just going to continue looking for this Ren, I believe it was, and see what information we can get, right?
yeah, for now, our best bet to get more information is to try to come across him in a more natural way, a non-aggressive way, and get talking to him just as people, hence why we were out of uniform. And then from there, try to put the pressure on a little bit and get that information that we're looking for.
Gotcha. And Hada will look at the file on the victim again and just kind of read through what he can again, and
I'll give you this too.
Go ahead.
Just as a gimme. You can insight. No, not insight. What would it be? You can roll investigation on the photo. Or any of the things that would be laid out in front of you.
Okay, I'll go ahead and roll an investigation on the photo and the file and see if I can determine anything. Probably not. Oh, that's.
Off that, no, you're not gonna notice anything really out of the ordinary. Trying to think, is there anything else?
You will hear a muttered, "I wish this wasn't redacted so hard or so heavily," but that's not like a direct thing at you. It's just kind of muttered under my breath as I look at the file.
just to try to give you another stab at it, I will say, I would maybe say perception is accurate to whether you perceive this thing or not. Maybe you don't need to study it as hard. We'll retroactively say you roll the perception before investigation to give you a second chance.
Oh, that's better. That's better.
That is okay. That is better. You're not going to get as much info as you would with investigation, but you will get something. Looking at the woman in the photo, the victim, you can't help but shake this. It's not really like a formative thought in your brain, but it's kind of like, you know, when your subconscious is like telling you something in the background quietly, and it's kind of just sitting there itching at your brain. You kind of get that feeling when you look at this photo that something about it looks familiar, aside from it, you know, seeing it in the notebook. Like, something else about it looks kind of familiar, but you're not really sure what.
Okay. Hada has some suspicions, but he will not voice them at this time.
That works.
All right. Well, I appreciate you bringing me into the loop and letting me know a little bit more.
Yeah, I know.
Whenever I can.
I don't quite know when there will be another outing. I'll keep tabs on my schedule and yours and just general ongoings, and I'll let you know when there's another time I'm thinking about chasing up the lead again.
Sounds good.
That's really all you got. For God.
And scene.
Okie doke.
Half there, it's just wrap up and head out.
I threw your convo in there already, so.
Or no, I was gonna even on just perception. You would have point blank like figured out what was kind of recognizable about it if you rolled a 20 or better. Investigation, you wouldn't have needed such a high one because then you're like studying it.
Right.
Yep. Okay. With that, that'll end that scene. And that, I believe, covers everything.
Go from my end.
So
Don't forget to give us our points.
I gave it to you when you first sat down.
Perfect. We have extra now, I think.
Yeah, no, because you've reached the point now where you need to do social targets before you can rank up.
We're close.
Yeah, I've got one more scene that I think we're gonna do tomorrow, and then I'm ready for the shit hits the fan scene whenever.
Yeah, I think I need about one more too, and then from there we can proceed.
I mean, anytime past the link level 5, you can set up your social targets. So
we have been just in natural steps.
yeah. So you guys can pace when your social targets show up. Essentially. Not that you even need to actually see them, but just know that they exist, really. Know they exist, know their names, and go check. And then gym was covered. And arcade was covered. So, Ryuzo goes home.
Thank you.
Ryuzo.
All right. I had to go snack. I'm getting hungry.
All right. Nothing eventful happens during the night. Transition to the morning. Once more, because plot relies on you guys figuring stuff out, Ryuzo and Hada, anything you want to do for investigation?
Are we going to be trapped in an endless loop here if we don't tell you a specific thing?
You're going to be trapped in an endless loop until you either figure out what needs to be done or I forcibly tell you.
I'm not going to lie, dude. I don't think you've given us enough information to reasonably figure it out. Easily.
If you realize one particular thing I have.
Yeah, but did you explain it in a way where it would sit with us in the way that you want it to?
Absolutely not.
I've got one observation to give, which is
Go.
there's basically two different types of fire cases. It looks like there's the electrical fires and there's the gas fires. Those might be.
But we already said that there's no real distinct MO.
Yeah, no, but they might. I don't know. You have to wait to see if more arsons occur.
Well, that's the main reason that me and Zaris both have been kind of just being like, yeah, there's nothing really else, because you keep saying you're not going to find anything more until another thing happens. So I know at least I kind of checked out of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, same.
if you're investigating the fires.
Also,
Dude, we have so many ongoing cases, I don't even know what you could be alluding to. So I'm trying to juggle so many things.
Yeah, I'm not sure where you're going with that because
Does
investigating
any...
the fire, we've investigated the locations, the people.
I kind of feel like you think you've hinted to what it is better than you have.
I've not hinted to what it is. Well,
You've
I have
obviously-
hinted. I've hinted to what it is, but I know that it's not enough for you to figure it out.
You just said it was.
Well, if that's the case, then why are you asking?
I'll say
Where are we going with this?
May would send a message to ask if her lead was any help or if they've been having any luck. Just
You get back pretty somber, sadly no.
Yeah,
That's unfortunate.
I'll go a little bit more detail and say we haven't been able to find any links between the person of interest and any of the fires. So kind of dead right now.
I think for reference, because you keep asking us, is there anything more we want to investigate? Unless you're going to prompt us with more information, I don't think we do. And if we do, we'll just kind of shout it out at you. At the moment, I think the two of us are both kind of waiting for anything else. Like, we've chased down all the leads that you've given us to their ends and questioning and got nothing. So it's just kind of general from here on out.
I suppose they still don't give a name because they're not going to go investigate or check on the kid. I don't think because they don't have enough motive to.
There's no reason to unless we go many days without any revelation.
Yeah.
And then we might get desperate and go there, but it's definitely not a...
My
top of the
only out-of-character advice I'll give you, and the only thing that's actually currently left for you to investigate, is that you have not talked to the kid's parents yet.
So what you're saying is you thought it was more reasonable that we would go talk to them, and we didn't.
I'm just saying, as the leads go dry, I would consider going to talk to them. Whether or not I'm going to give you enough of a hint to figure out what to do because you go talk to them, you have enough right now. You could figure it out. However,
I don't believe you.
You could certainly figure it out with what you have right now.
I really don't believe you. I think from the perspective of knowing what it is, I think you think it's more obvious than it is.
Considering no one's done it yet, I think that is true.
Yeah. I think you're looking at it from where you know what the answer is, and you think it's a lot more obvious than it is. Because, yeah, the only thing left for us to do is to go question the parents, which realistically, like I said, there's not really any reason for us to do it unless we get desperate, and getting desperate would be like days.
And I will tell you Hada's reasoning for that not being the primary thing. If this person was involved in is our arson, then why the hell would they be buying fire extinguishers if they're starting the fires?
That as well.
But that's kind of where my thought process is at.
Mhm.
So
Especially if their fear is fire.
Like, at most, we would have to take it in the route of, like, does your son think someone is coming after him specifically? Is that why this behavior has spurred out of nowhere? Like, that's... That and the general, like, oh yeah, like, so this is abnormal for your kid? Do you have any ideas why this might have happened?
Your kid's not a fire extinguisher collector? What the fuck?
I hate that that's a thing. That, like, I've seen somebody who does that. They just collect fire extinguishers. There's also a kid who collects vacuum cleaners. He's got like 300.
Yeah.
what?
All
Yeah.
I'm saying is that I have given you what you could potentially figure out.
Okay, then what haven't we though?
Because you've not taken the approach.
I'll give you the sum up.
They did!
I'll give you the sum up of where we're at. Ryuzo and Hada have chased down every lead, like, that would make sense for them to chase down, as
In-
far as it will go.
In terms of finding the arsonist, yes.
The fucking God has to give us information on other cases if we're gonna. I may work at the police station, but unless you want me to just make up a case on the spot.
The only other case was the case at the general store.
We're considering that in the same thing with the arson,
Yes and no.
because it is linked, because it's someone who has heard about the fires, obviously.
It's a case
Like,
that
it's-
resulted due to the fires. But more or less, it's a domestic, or not a domestic, but
I don't even think it's a case.
public
It was,
Disturbance.
disturbance.
General
it was
store
an,
is
it was an
the name.
incident that got handled
Is a public disturbance in the general store.
that is loosely
That
tied.
was loosely
case.
loosely tied to an existing ongoing case due to someone being freaked out about said ongoing case.
But now we're right back to there's no reason for us to go investigate him yet.
The name is right. It
Exactly.
has to be right.
Regardless, what I'm trying to say is, I think Hada and Ryuzo will only go to the kid's house after, like, what day is it in the week?
It's the 16th right now.
Like, later in. Once more time has passed and we're not seeing anything else surface from, like, the general day-to-day investigations. I think you really do think, from your perspective, that there is more reason for us to go there. And there probably is, but in character, there's not.
In character, no. I don't think there's more reason for you to go there. Out of character, there is something you have not considered.
So what I'm saying is, either we're going to do this whole song and dance for, like, days more, or something else will need to happen to prompt us to want to go there.
It's true.
So asking us every time we hit a work day, we don't really have anything else
I won't ask then.
with the current info, unless Zaris disagrees.
No, I do agree with that. I'm just kind of trying to think right now when the exasperation date would be where we just finally go talk to the parents.
I'd say once it hits Monday.
Yeah, I was
Because we
thinking
had the chat on a Sunday, so I was gonna say a week, but Sunday to Sunday feels wrong because it's our day off. So probably Monday, unless something happens before
Yeah,
that.
so unless something happens, I would say we can skip out on the workday investigation until Monday the 20th.
All right. Solid. Boody bobbity boo. So we'll jump ahead to free time for today.
All right, we are
Well-
going to the city.
Where the heck do I? Where the heck is Kaime going?
I'm trying to use the fucking very low space on the laptop to move a mouse, and I fucking threw myself in the woods.
Kayame tries to drive to the shrine, but
Paul's
she...
going to the fucking metaverse.
Paul's going metaverse? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, Kayame tries to drive herself to the shrine, but loses control of her vehicle and throws herself into the woods.
I pulled the sickest drift though and went back.
Pulled a sick drift, missed the tree, went back to the shrine.
Exactly.
He's gonna get movies. Movie place.
Alright. May. Roll me a perception.
Okay, I'm usually good at these.
About to get some cactus, man.
15.
15.
I don't know if that's good enough.
Passive
your-
perception.
What's your passive?
passive
19.
perception
With a
19.
passive of 19 and a roll of 15.
Oh,
we'll-
fuck.
We'll
there he
take
is.
Cactus Man's encounter to the movie thing another day. I have no idea what I'm gonna do for a Cactus Man encounter, but
You've met him before with me,
No
didn't you?
no one
Maybe
ever
we can
knows.
No one ever really knows what to do with Cactus Man. He's just there. Also,
Like who met him?
Cactus Man has been hiding at the movie rental store for the last 5 sessions.
because no one wanted to get
No one,
movies.
yeah, no one's been gone. We've been busy with our own subplots.
Yep. I think he has been at the movie rental store since the last time you found him.
Give us incentive to go
Which was
there.
at the docks, right?
I think he was at the docks last time.
Yeah, I was.
I will say, minor point for DM. I do think you should move him more and not just stick him in the same place forever until somebody goes there.
Yeah.
Especially movie rentals. We don't go there often because we don't need to.
Well, you can put him in movie rentals, but don't stick him in fucking purgatory there for 5 sessions. Like,
Yeah,
if we
like-
don't find him in a session, move him to a new spot.
The only reason I didn't move him was because I knew there was a bunch of other stuff going on that Cactus Man was not interrupting. Was the main thing.
Fair.
That's absolutely fair.
I
If
mean,
there's something going on there, just don't do his encounter. If like 2 people are doing a scene at the cafe, don't have Cactus Man come in like, hey yo.
yeah, pretty much that. Or do. I mean, we could always skip him if need be and have the knowledge that you will just move him then after, and our chances of finding him again are the same as they were anyways.
I also don't think Akio wants him on the premises.
Sakio met Cactus Man? Who has met Cactus Man? I'm trying to think.
You know I have.
Oh, yeah,
I have, May has.
Akio
Kime
met him?
saw him.
yeah. Kaime and Paul met him at the shrine one time, I think. If I remember
Yeah.
correctly.
That's when we first found him.
Oh,
let's go
have
through
Hada and
here.
Akio then?
Batting cages. I'm assuming we're just getting +1 convo.
Yeah.
Okay, I know enough about what I can do for a scene with Cactus Man.
Kayame, anything special going on at the shrine or just visiting?
Nope. Just normal payment.
Okay.
Do Cactus Man before Hada and I.
All right.
Just 1, it's shorter, and 2, I gotta use the bathroom.
So, May, you have a choice to make.
Mhm.
As you're on your way to the movie rental store, you see the Cactus Man.
Then I notice him, and then I go, you know what? Why not? I'm gonna try and sneak up on him.
Ooh, okay.
I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna try and like stealth, like having noticed him, get up behind him, or near him without him noticing me.
All right.
We'll roll stealth. Never mind. Fine. We're using inspiration because I want to do this because I've not used it in ages.
You can indeed use the inspiration to do this, because I know you
I
have one
want-
banked.
There you go. 21.
21. I'm just gonna roll this. I don't have any bonuses on him. but just for reference.
You know, I almost could have kept the 13.
So you sneak up on him, and when you reveal yourself, because I'm assuming you're going to reveal yourself
I
to him.
basically just go, so what you up to? Like right behind him. Like trying to be just a little bit of a gremlin and surprise him.
He shows no sign of surprise.
I will insight his lack of surprise. Did I surprise him or did he somehow still notice me?
You can gather that he's just figured out your location, but somehow he knew you were there. Like, he knew you were somewhere, but he didn't know where.
Well, looks like I need more practice then. Thought I had you.
On the average person, I'd say you got them well surprised. But people of our type tend to notice each other. You
Our
may...
type?
Those who are able to shrink into the shadows.
Fair enough.
You may have a future in this line of work if you're interested.
Sneaking around or dressing up as a bush?
Mostly the dressing up as the bush, to be honest.
At least he's honest.
I'm not so sure about the dressing up as a bush part.
Well, if you're ever interested, you can find me sometime and you can apply for the association.
There's more of you?
Well, of course. You see them all the time, street performing. People who act as statues, or people who do this type of street performance.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure last time I did something along the lines of how are people exactly going to pay you when they don't notice you in the first place?
It is picking and choosing when to reveal thyself.
I suppose. Well, have fun being a bush, I suppose.
It's a living. And he'll go back to bushing. And I'll give you the plus convo with him, Cactus Man.
There we go.
So yeah, basically if you find Cactus Man somewhere that you were planning to go talk to somebody, you can sacrifice the social hours you're going to have with them to talk to Cactus Man. Wacky concept.
I need to put like 25 stealth or something to sneak up on him, I think.
To sneak up on him, you'd have to roll really high.
Yeah, I'll have to get better. Fortunately, I'm hoping to get better at stealth, so we'll see at some point.
Alright. And with perfect timing, Ryuzo and Hada.
Right? Hada gets up scene this time, not me.
Hada,
Yeah,
where are we
and-
going?
It's you don't, no map is necessary. pick up Ryuzo and thank him for coming along, and basically just give him the rundown that I'm putting the metaphorical foot down, and this is the last time I'm going to tell him that this has got to stop. And I appreciate his moral support, and we head into the city. And I park outside of my uncle's home and ask Ryuzo to wait outside if he wouldn't mind, and go in and have my come to Jesus meeting with my uncle.
Yep. You just get the I'm here whenever you need me from me.
Yeah, and as you can determine if Ryuzo would wait in the car or if he'd kind of skulk around at the front door and not necessarily try to listen in, but see if he overhears anything or not. But that's up to you.
Are we in a house?
I was thinking apartment.
Apartment. We'll say I'm like sitting on the steps out front. So I'm like closer than in the car, but not like I'm trying to respect your ask and not pry, but I just wanted fresh air. I didn't want to sit in the car.
Okay. I'm guessing you would have a hard time hearing it then because it's not right at the door or anything, but essentially it's just the conversation gets heated. Hada is firm with his uncle and saying that he's not going to be doing any more of these favors. He's not going to be trying to get him off the hook for anything anymore. And his uncle, of course, is fighting back. You're sitting there for a pretty decent amount of time, maybe about 30-40 minutes, before Hada comes out and looks very tired and just gives you a, all right, it's done. Let's go. And at that point, if you want to ask anything about how it went, you can. And
I do. I'm just trying to figure out where. Probably back in the car.
yeah, probably on the car ride back.
Maybe I suggest we'd like. Yeah, we'll do that. We get in the car. We're driving back, and I like suggest just like a nice spot to sit where there's a nice view, and you kind of park and sit there and chat. I suggest maybe we take a minute, pull over, and decompress before we go back out of the city.
Sounds good. And I'll find what seems to be the most secluded and best kind of nice view, but not, find a nice area to park and decompress.
And as we get situated then, I kind of, Lisa doesn't break the silence immediately, but after a minute, it's kind of like, so how'd it go?
Hada pauses for a moment and lets out a heavy sigh. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if he continues to try and convince me to change my mind, but I was firm. I told him it's not happening again. I told him if he wants my help, he can come down to the office and make an official police report, and we can help him with any trouble that he might have gotten himself into, but that no more strings will be pulled.
That's all you can really do, honestly. If he does end up trying to come down to the station to cause any fuss or to file anything official, you just make sure that you let somebody else deal with it. You tell me, or if I'm not around, ask another member of the office to handle the case for you. Say that, it's family, because it's not hidden that he's a family member, right?
Right.
Yeah, so just that it's family and you want to hand it off to somebody else because in general, police aren't supposed to look into the cases of family members terribly specifically most of the time. Unless it's just something minor, So, you kind of get the you've done all you can, Hana. Like, don't beat yourself up over it. You know, I'm glad that you were able to come and get this done, and I know I didn't stay in the car, I didn't want to pry, but shooting outside, it didn't sound like things got heated enough to cause me any concern. Like, I would have been listening for, like, shouting, or, you know, something breaking. Anything that would spur Ryuzo to kind of go barge in.
Right.
So, unless you think anything like that happened, which it sounds like he was mostly just arguing.
Yeah, it was mostly arguing. You would have taken note that there were a few times where it sounded like it was getting close to escalating to that point, but it never quite hit that threshold.
Yeah. So I was just staying close then. But, yep, you've done all you can. I know it's not the most pleasant thing, but it's what needs to be done. And I think you'll feel better about this after a bit of time has passed.
I appreciate that. And believe me, it's a lesson very, very hard learned.
It's better to learn lessons than to not learn at all.
True.
It's more valuable to have an officer on the force who's, you know, maybe not perfect, but strives to improve. And I see that in you, Hada, which is why I definitely, there's been no looking down on you for the situation that you've gotten yourself into.
You will notice that Hada kind of visibly relaxes a little bit more and just kind of stares out into nothingness and just says thanks. And as far as I'm concerned, we can leave it there. But if you have anything else, please feel free.
No, I was gonna say, I think with there, you just leave it to let that sink in for a minute, sit and appreciate the quiet spot, the nice view before we head out. You got the "I'm here if you need me" message without it being said.
Yep.
All right. That's all set then. I think that covers everyone.
Mhm.
I believe so, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We will transition to the night time of the 16th. And with that, I believe we have a pretty good spot to end session. Well as 3 minutes to time, anyways.
Yeah.
I think that's for the best, because stepping further ahead is gonna be, I think, Zaris and I taking up a bunch of time.
All right.
It's your turn.
It is our turns.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We're getting pretty close to Polinocchio's turn, too.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
that
you-
absolutely is something that we need to work out.
When you two were doing your scenes and, like, fighting and all that stuff, I remember Zaris and I were, like, trying to gauge how long it was gonna take. We undershot severely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, this won't take very long, and then an hour of battling later, it's like, well, I don't know when this is gonna end.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with that. We were just trying to plan out when to do our things.
In any case, I'm gonna go ahead and end stream.